Uh, what? Alrighty. Well, let me kick it off then. I'm Pam, and I'm one of the people, along with Marianne, who are very heavily involved with the development of the database. Early on, the registry is a subset of the CGA database because the CGA database does contain additional information on some goats that aren't registered, either because they're kids or they're goats for whom we have information that is so old that it doesn't fit the exact standards for the way in which we record information today. So they couldn't be registered, but we wanted to keep the information on them. So we do have far more goats in the database than we do have registered goats, but we do of course want to get more goats in there. I know most of you know a whole lot about the database, but just very briefly, one of the most important things to know about it is that the registry is an open registry. All goats must qualify on their own merits. Doesn't matter how wonderful their parents were. We want to know about their parents, but having wonderful parents is not enough to make you qualified to be in the database. We collect information from evaluations. Those evaluations can be from an accredited judge judging your fleece and making an assessment on a standard scorecard, or it can be from a show, or it can be from a laboratory test. Let's see. The database is also a repository for the herd codes and farm information on anybody who has a cashmere herd code. So if you have a herd code, you're in the database as a farm, and if we have your information, your email address and so forth, you're on there as a user, and you can enter information on your goats. And if you don't have a herd code and you want one, just get a hold of me and I'll create one for you. Let's see. The way to, I think I should start sharing my screen, even though I like looking at all these people's. Here we go. I want I want this. And I want to go to, oh, don't tell me, I don't want that. I want, the share window is closed. Okay, we're going to try that again. I really do know how to do this, honest. I go to Zoom. Okay. Oh, I know it. And I say, share. Very simple. Come on. There we go. And here, okay, the proper way to go to the database is to first go to the Cashmere Registry website. Everybody can see what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Somebody nod at me. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Thank you, David. Yep.
You're welcome.
This is the CashmereGoatAssociation.org, our website. And within it, you can see a bunch of menu options, including one for the database and registry. So I'm just going to go there. And once I get there, I will just page down a little bit. There's some information here about the database, as well as information on how to register a goat. But the most important thing here is here's a link to the registry. AKA database and registry I use kind of interchangeably, though the registry again is a subset of the database as a whole. I'm just going to log in. There's a little, if you pay, nobody notices, you can page down. There's a little bit more information right here. See, if you don't know it's there, it's easy to not look for it, but it tells you some basic stuff about the database and the registry. Right. Okay. Now I need to move this thing out of the way. Let me see if I can do that so I can get to the menu over here. Oh. And I have to also get rid of the cat. That will help. Okay, now I need to move you out of the way. Come on. Danielle, it's not moving out of the way. There we go. Okay, I got him out of the way. Okay, over here on the right, you've got a menu of all the things you can do. The search functions and the reports are open to anybody who logs into this website. You don't have to sign in to get these things. So anybody can go in here, pull a report, or search for a goat. You can search for a specific goat by filling in the herd code and the name of the goat. You can search for a goat that you might want to buy or use to breed by putting in specific characteristics for a goat. For example, if you're looking for a buck and you want the buck to be younger than 6, and you want him to be super fine, and you want him to have great hooves, you can put all those things in to a search engine, and it will bring up a list of registered goats who have those qualities or better. For example, if you say I want him to be at least a fine goat, it'll bring up the goats that have super fine fiber as well. You can search for all goats who have a certain goat in their ancestry, and find out all of the goats who were descended from a particularly fine doe or buck. And you can also put in a herd code, and it'll bring up information about the farm associated with that herd code. And under the reports, you can list all of the farms in the database, and you can narrow it down. Let me click on that for a sec. Show you some of the things you can do to narrow it down. You can once you're in here, you can look for a specific farm by its name or by part of its name, or a herd code, or all the active farms, or you can put in your state or Canadian province to find the ones in your area. You can list all of the registered goats, and then once you've done that, you can also narrow it down and list all of the registered goats that came from a given farm, or all of the registered goats that are currently owned by a given farm. Or within it, you can also search for a specific goat. And a thing that we added fairly recently is this thing called List All Goats by Farm. This shows you all of the goats at a given farm, or all of the goats who came from a given farm, and it includes ones that are in there as pedigree entries, ones that are registered, and ones that are not registered. So that way, people found it difficult. They didn't know if they had finished entering somebody, and people needed a way to just see what are all the ones that I put in, what are all the ones that are in there for my farm, whether they're registered or not, or whether they're a pedigree entry or not. So that's why we added that here. Okay. But the next bunch of things are the things we're going to be playing with tonight, because these are the tools that are not available to the world. They're only available to people who log in, who have their farm entered and are defined as a user for the database. You can use those to add a goat, to add an ancestor for a goat, a pedigree entry, or to update it, to add the evaluation information for a goat that is going to be registered. Or you can add an evaluation for a pedigree entry. That's the kind of thing you use if you've got information on a goat, you don't have enough information or the right information to register him, but you've got some information you want to put in there. This is a very forgiving sort of function. You don't have to have everything, because we're just collecting whatever information you've got. And then of course you can update that information. And as a farmer, you can update information on your farm or yourself. And if you've got a goat who is registered, you can use this to retrieve a certificate this was the certificate for a registered goat. This one's a new one. This you can retrieve a certificate for a goat who is in the database. He's enrolled, he's been added, but we don't have information on him, usually because it's a kid and they don't have a fleece yet. He's enrolled, so you can use this when you're taking a goat to a show and you need an official registry entry for him to get him into a 4-H show. But it's just a certificate of enrollment. It's not registration. And the rest of the stuff down here, that's just for me. I'm the registrar officially for this, so I can review the evaluations after they're in there and do all kinds of amazing fun things. Okay, let's see now. Why don't I stop sharing and turn it over to David, who has bravely volunteered to be the guinea pig here at first. And
hello, everybody. This is going to be exciting. We did a little demo the other night, and I was successful in being able to do this. So tonight is we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So bear with us and we're gonna have a lot of fun. And after I had done this the other night, first of all, my wife is the one that usually does all the data entry. And I usually set off to the side and watch. So after doing this on my own with my wife sitting here and Pam helping and Danielle, I felt really successful at the end of doing this whole process. So hopefully that works for you too. So let's see what we can do. All righty?
Okay.
All right, so we'll work on sharing my screen, correct?
Yep.
All right, select the window. And is that what I'm looking for? Oh, share.
Yeah, pick the window you want and then say you're going to share. There you go. All
There
right.
we go.
Beautiful.
And then we go up here to Cashmere Goat Association.
And if you've never logged in here, folks, your ID is always your email address, and the initial passphrase is always simply the word password. And you can change it if you want, but you don't have to.
And enter. Okay. And then we have to enter your herd code. And ours is DHF.
Mhm.
And we use a goat name. So we did use Rachel the other day.
Yep, Rachel should already be there.
All right. So if we're going to do a new one,
Yep.
go with Abaya. I think that's.
And this is always a good thing to do first, folks. If you're going to add a goat, make sure she's not already there. And as you can see, she's not there. So we can go ahead and add her. Now,
Okay,
this is,
so
you're going to add a goat who's going to be a candidate for registry eventually,
that's
right?
correct. That's
Good,
right.
all righty. So you remember where to go?
Yep, all the way over here. So add a new goat, correct?
Yep.
There we go. So
You can see they all start out with the status of enrolled pending registration.
mhm.
And they can stay that way until they'll stay that way until you add an evaluation that's approved.
Oh, here we go. Abaya. Okay. And I believe her code number is this. So that's an ear tag.
Can put a microchip number or tattoo in there.
Right?
Yeah, see, David's done what I always do as well, which is to put the premises ID in front of anything that's actually on the tag. That's a good way to make it a totally unique number. Doesn't have to be. It could be just whatever you use to identify the goat.
Right. Okay. And her date of birth was February 22 of last year.
Mhm.
And she is a doe. And she was from a set of twins.
Mhm.
Did you mean this year or last year?
Last year, 21.
That's this year,
This past year.
the most
right.
recent. So this is a
Most
kid,
recent.
Brad.
She is a
Frederick.
kid. She's
She's a
not
kid?
registered yet.
Okay.
And see here, colors, where we are right here. She is it's a gray silver. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gray and silver are one and the same.
mm-hmm. Her guard hair is gray
Yeah, there,
silver also.
yeah, there we did put the two of them together.
I see that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, guard hair length. Well, it's she has short guard hair, which was amazing because her father, Uzmo, has the long guard hair and the mother has medium. So goat characteristics.
This is
Okay,
an
so-
optional field, folks. Yeah, a lot of people leave it blank, but if the goat has a big spot on its side or, you know, a white spot on its,
Identifying marks.
yeah,
to
or
help
if it's
you.
got badger marking, something interesting, that this is a place to put that.
So Abaya happens to have a silver white gray dorsal. That's what we call it. That's right down the center is of her back is a gray streak, unlike her sister. Okay, and
You'll see the current farm there is protected because you cannot enter a goat that is not at your farm. You can enter a goat that was born somewhere else as long as you own it now.
Mhm.
But once the goat leaves your farm, the new owner would have to enter it if you want to get it registered, not you.
so, she, for her size and age, she has a large frame. And if she's going to be anything like her mother, Sangalala, she's going to be a large goat, larger than most.
Okay.
Other comments? Do we have anything?
Yeah, this is for whatever you want to say, folks. You can indicate that this doe always produces twins or always produces triplets, or she's a wonderful mother, or she's the buck is easy to handle, or anything.
Oh, anything. So she's a very sweet goat.
So
She is. She's a darling.
who could resist?
You can't. And the sire. Okay, so we did this the other day, and it is
It's a very long list here, folks. So when you're looking for the sire, you can help yourself by typing in the first letter or a couple letters of the herd code. It'll bring you to that section of the drop down because it's getting to be a very long list. These are all the goats that are in the database, or all of the male goats in the database.
I went the wrong way. It's supposed to be CSM.
You're looking for CSM. There you
Yes.
go. You type in a C, you get closer. Oh,
Yep.
you
Oh, I'm supposed to go the other way. All right. Sorry about that.
I'm glad you asked that. You need to add them. If the sire or dam are not already in the database, that's actually your first step. We decided to do adding the goat right away since we wanted to get to the meat of it. But in our next example, we're going to have to add the sire and the dam and the grandparents for our demo goat. So one of the important things to think about doing when you're going to register some goats is to collect all that information. You want to sit there and figure out who the parents and who the grandparents were for everybody. And then you'll need to figure out if they're already on the database. And if they aren't, you need to add them. You don't absolutely
There
have
he
to.
is.
There you go.
CSM Uzuma.
But we prefer it if you do. It's really nice. It's nice for everybody if we've got the history of these high quality goats. So you found the dad and the mom. You're looking for, I forgot who the mom was.
Sangalala.
Oh, okay. So you got another
She's-
CMM
Yeah,
goat.
she came from Sister's Farm.
Okay.
What am I doing here? Oops.
There you go.
All right, just type in C.
That brings you to that part of the,
S. Nope. So backspace. C. All right.
yeah, and then just
Scroll
little
down.
ways and you should find the CSM goats.
There we go.
There we go. Yep.
And Abaya is just like her mom. Wow, Sangala is such a wonderful goat. That's why I bred her with Uzumu. Uzumu is a buck that is just, he's a Lance son, and he's just kind of laid back, and he's just a very chill goat. So I put the two together, and the babies are absolutely beautiful. Here she is.
And to answer the question that just popped up, yes, we recognize that it's very likely, very possible that the goats, the ancestors won't be at your farm. So when you're adding a goat through the pedigree function, the edits are different, and you can add, we'll do this as an example. You can add a goat that is not at your farm. You can add a goat who's no longer living. You can add, goat with any old herd code.
Okay.
And if you don't have, if there is no herd code for the goat, like I have some goats that I got from this guy out in Colorado. He never got a herd code. We invent one for him.
Now, we were practicing doing these images the other night, but I don't feel savvy enough to bounce around on here,
Okay.
to go collect those photos. So that's something that I can add later on, correct?
Absolutely. Photos
Right.
are not absolutely required. We love having them. But you could absolutely add them later. And I think you
Okay,
added
so-
everything you have to.
Yep, so I go save record,
Yeah,
correct?
good work.
And
Beautiful.
bingo, results. Your changes have been saved.
Yeah.
All right.
So the goat is
So-
now on there. Well, shall we go to our more challenging goat then?
Yes.
What we did in preparation for this thing was to create a goat, cleverly named DHF Demo Adam. He's a little buck who was born last year, and we've got, I just made up some information from him that David has. And he has parents named Dad and Mom, and he has grandparents named Grandpa 1 and Grandma 1 and Grandpa 1, Grandpa 2 and Grandma 2.
So original. That's great.
So original. What can I tell you? Hey, listen, I knew I'd know what I meant. So the first thing we want to do now is figure out which of these ancestors we have to add, which ones are already there, and which ones we have to add. So I would, if I were you, David, some of these I added for you. I added 3 of them.
Right, so do I want to go to add a new goat, correct?
Well, what you're adding now is a pedigree entry. So you
Okay.
actually want to
Alright.
say you want to add a pedigree entry. But
Okay,
I think it would be wise to save yourself some time. I would check first to see if the goat's already there. Because if it's already there and you go through the hassle of adding it, you will have wasted a bunch of time. So why don't you do a search first by herd code and name and find
Okay.
out if Demo Grandpa
so
1 is
original farm or herd code, and then the name is,
well, you're in the add goat right now.
okay,
Yeah, so why don't you go back out to the search by herd coded name? That's what I would do first. Go up a little farther. It's under the searches.
over here to the far right.
Little, yeah, up higher. It's way up toward the top of the menu entries. There you go. There you go. Search by herd coded name. That's going to
Oh,
give
there
you,
it is. All right, I'm sorry, I just have to
by herd
look.
code is going to give you
Right.
farm information. If you
There
go
we
up a
go.
little, yeah, that's just going to give you information on a farm. But if you
Okay.
go up a little higher to the search by herd code and name, that's what you would want to use to search for a goat.
Yeah, I've got this little bar that's in the way here that I can't see.
Oh,
So is it the second one
It's
or
the
the very
first one.
first one?
The very first one. There you go.
Okay,
You're on it. You're on it.
okay.
There
So
you go.
did I get
Yeah.
it? Search by herd
Okay.
code and name. Yep.
You
All
did.
right. All right, awesome. So we're going to go to DHF.
Uh-huh.
And the goat's name is Adam, correct?
Well, that's the ultimate goat we want to add. We know he's not there because
Right,
he's the
so-
goat you haven't added him. It's Grandpa we want to check on first.
All
Right,
right,
because
so
we start with the oldest one of the ancestors. So let's see if somebody named Demo Grandpa 1 is there. There you go.
is that number 1 or just 1?
The number 1. There you go. Yep.
Okay,
See if he's
Yeah.
already there.
no matching.
He isn't. Yep. Okay. And to save time, I'll tell you that Grandma's not there either, and
Okay.
neither is Dad. But all of his maternal ancestors are already there because
That's pretty great that
Okay.
you can do that. Super.
it just saves you some time. I've gone through the hassle of, entering all the prompts and then discovering the goat was already there. So now
Okay.
you've done that, Grandpa's not there.
Right.
It is definitely sensitive to spaces. I know the herd code is definitely sensitive to case. You can't put lowercase letters in there and expect to find it.
Okay.
All herd codes are uppercase.
Uppercase, all right.
I'm not sure about well, let's test it.
All right.
Search for one of your goats, but use the wrong cases. Put Rebecca all in uppercase and see if you can find her.
Okay. We'll start with,
You can't break this, folks. So don't worry, just experiment. It's really a dangerous thing to say.
oops, boy, you can tell I'm not a computer guy. Look at that.
But it knew that wasn't a herd code.
That's right. So Rebecca, I don't see her in here. All right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see. Oh, there's your answer. It is sensitive to case because it didn't
No
find her.
matching criteria was found.
Yeah, Rebecca is in there. So you do need to put in a
He
Capricorn.
spelled Rebecca wrong.
I did, didn't I? Yes.
Oh, that would do it too. Thanks, Stas. I didn't notice that.
Okay. Oops, there we go again. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, it's easy to do that. You could just put in Grace with a lowercase g because we can see Grace is in there. Put in a lowercase
Right.
Grace.
Okay, let's do that.
See if she pops up. No, it
No
is
matching.
case sensitive. Okay,
Yes,
it is case sensitive then.
Okay.
So you have to be good. All righty.
All right, so what do you want to do now?
Well, to save time, I will just tell you that all of the dad and his parents are not on the database yet, but the mom and her parents are on the database. So you don't need to worry about them, but we need to add pedigree entries for DHF demo dad and grandpa and grandma on that side. So we want to start with the oldest ones. So now we want to add a pedigree entry for DHF
Okay.
demo grandpa 1. So you go over there.
Pedigree.
Those are
What's
all
up
the
above there?
searches. Those are all searches up there.
Okay, all right.
Then you get down here.
Pedigree entry.
That's the one. It
There we
it
go.
will look just like the add goat function, but the
Right.
reason it's the reason we have a separate function is this is much more forgiving because it's very possible that you don't have all the information. After all, this is a grandpa. This one was born at your farm, so you may know everything about it, but you probably don't know. Maybe you don't have I don't know.
Okay, so this one is who? Grandpa 1?
Demo grandpa 1.
There we go, right here. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
really call him anything you want, but it'll be easier.
Sure. All right,
If
so
we keep demo in the name, I'll erase them more easily.
now should that be all uppercase as it
You
is
can
on
make-
this?
Well, no, you can make it a combination. Whatever you do, we'll
Okay.
we'll use it from here on in because
Okay, demo grandpa 1. One. Nope, forgot the D in there. How about that?
there you go.
There we are.
Yeah.
And the identifier,
I didn't put down identify. You might not know
No.
that, you know?
nope, I don't see it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not absolutely required.
Okay, so should I just skip that?
Mhm.
All right,
Should allow you to.
yeah, okay.
It allows you
And-
to skip most everything except for sex. You really must know that. And
Right.
about it.
And sad news, he died.
Yeah, he did die. Yeah.
So it is a buck.
He's getting all this off a little chart that tells him all about
Yeah, a
it.
little piece of paper that, we previously had done, yeah. Better size, he was part of a set of twins. So if you have any information, this is fairly easy. Once you learn how to navigate this little system that we have. Cashmere color, it's a gray fiber.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to say that he was, see the guard here was,
I think it's black.
is it? It is, but the length, it didn't say length. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say long
Okay.
guard here. A little partial to that.
You remember Grandpa. Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah. Go characteristics. We're not going to do anything with that. Second owner and his death. The date was, so it's just the year.
Chances are in a lot of these cases, you're only gonna know the year, or maybe all you know is that he's dead, you know?
And year, to be exact
yeah.
date is not known. All right. Because it
Yeah,
says
yeah.
on here, enter 0101 in year if the exact date is not known.
Mhm.
All right. So do that.
Yeah, we don't need to obsess over birth dates or death dates as long as, for the birth date, I know my goats are always born in April, so I tend to just put in April 15th for everybody. Because really, it doesn't matter beyond the year.
It was a large goat from what I can remember.
Okay. Now you remember Grandpa. All right.
Uh,
Okay, and since
So that's pretty much it, correct?
that's pretty much it. Yeah, you should be able to save it since the pedigree entry is
Right.
very forgiving and it will let you skip things you don't know.
Success. Your
Beautiful.
changes have been made. All right.
Excellent. Now you want to do grandma real quick and then we can do dad.
Sure. Okay. Add a pedigree entry. So we have no identifier. Date of birth. There is no, date of birth.
And these goats happen to be from David's farm with the DHF herd code, but we recognize, of course, that pedigree entries may very well be from another farm. So there's no problem with entering a pedigree entry with a herd code other than your own, because that's something that crops up. Okay,
She was a single.
there's a single, yeah.
She also was a gray.
Yeah.
Black.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of black goats.
Yes. A lot of beautiful goats there. So characteristics. Let's just say Uh, Light silver. Date of birth, death.
Oh, she's still with us.
She's still with us. That's
She's still
right.
with us.
How could I forget that? And she had a large frame also.
Okay.
Comment. So, all right. And
I think you've done it.
yeah, that's it. All the way down to the bottom here. We save. Success. The changes have been
Very
made.
good.
So,
Now, when you add the demo dad, you should be able to select grandma and grandpa as the sire and dam for demo dad.
a
But
new goat.
I would do pedigree entry again.
Okay. All right. Great.
Oh, Mary Ann's asking if there's a definition of frame size. Wendy, is there a definition? This is sort of one of those things it's definitely not required for registry. It's informational. It is kind of subjective, right? What do you say, Wendy?
Yeah, it is kind of subjective. I think if you're around cashmere goats a bit, you can see some that are smaller body wise. That doesn't mean anything to do with how much fiber they might produce, to ones that are larger, like you think of as a meat animal. So a lot of goats will fit probably in the medium. I think you'll know if it's small or large. If you're not sure, I'd put it in medium.
Mhm.
Does that help? I don't know.
It's just, it helps a little bit when you're searching. I don't think it's one of the characteristics you can search on. We don't specifically search for a big goat. But if you pull up a bunch and you're looking at a buck that says large, you might think, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy that one. But that's just me.
Takes a little bit, especially if you're using hunt and peck.
Yeah, we understand.
Okay. Thank you for being patient.
Not a problem. Gives us time to talk about other things.
And 20.
So this is the dad. This is the guy. Oh, this isn't the one we're actually going to add the evaluations for, but this is an
Okay.
important ancestor. And this is the last
Mm.
ancestor that we need to add. Yeah, sorry, we're sticking with this theme because I figured black goats with gray fiber are probably going to have a baby with the same.
That's pretty much it, right?
There you go. Yep. You're good, I think. Oh, but here now we're up to the sire and the dam. Here you get to take advantage of what you just did. You added grandpa and you added grandma. So now doing demo dad, you can select that sire and you should be under DHF.
Yep. And is that case sensitive also?
Yes. I think. Yeah, you had him there a second ago. Where did he go?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, try hitting your D again. Oh, there you go. Oh, there you go.
Yep. There
Where'd
we
he
are.
go? There he is.
So having grandpa. All right.
Grandpa now. We should be able to get grandma too.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah,
Look at
there
that. That's awesome.
There she is. Yep.
All right. So save record.
When we have 10,000 goats in the list, it may get to be a drag, but we're still doing it. Okay, we've got Dad in there now. Beautiful.
All right.
Well, since I
So-
added mom and her parents, we can go to add DHF demo now. Now, this is one that we want to register. And so we're going to be adding evaluations for him. So you want to go back to add new goat, right?
Yep, right here.
How do you enter? Oh, we should do that.
What are we doing?
Wendy was asking about the photos. Okay, now we're going to add the real goat. Now this, you see how it says enrolled pending registration instead of pedigree entry there at the very top?
Yes, I do.
That's
Yes.
because, yeah, this is a registry candidate. And this is going to be more demanding. You got to enter all of the critical stuff.
Okay. All right, so we'll start with his name, and that's
Oh, yeah.
Demo Adam.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. Well, I didn't indicate I'll make
No.
up something good. I didn't write down an identifier. Well, we're gonna blow this guy away anyway, so make up something.
Right, okay, so. There we go, how's that?
Okay.
Do the year tag.
Hmm. Oh, good night, Leaf.
It's a twin. He's still with us, yes,
Yes, indeed.
of course he is.
Just a baby,
Yep, just the baby.
pretty little. Now, we do know his sire and dam. His
Right.
sire you just added a minute
Yep,
ago.
so we have to put that information in also, correct?
You don't absolutely have to.
No,
We
okay,
really like it if you do, but you don't absolutely have to. But, and if you don't happen to have the information with you at the time, there's Dad. Oops, we just lost him. You can update it later. There
what
you
am I
go.
doing there?
Yeah. Well, I think you typed part of the birth date
I
next to
did,
Dad's name. So that's now
Oh.
part of Dad's name. That's okay.
Is it? All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry about
that's just
that, folks.
officially Dad's name. Not a problem.
All right. And I just, all right, here we go.
There should be a demo mom. I sure hope I didn't blow this.
Demo grandma.
Oh, I didn't add demo mom. Okay, then we don't. This is an exhibit A of oh, you know what?
What's
Mom,
that?
this is a good example. Mom is not a DHF goat.
Oh,
Mom is a CSM goat.
Okay.
CSM demo mom. He should be there. Oh, there's a lot of CSM. goats. A little farther up.
There we
There
are.
she is. Yep, mom and grandma are both. Yep, okay. And mom
Okay.
and grandma are already on there. Okay, great.
so then
And
we
oh,
say,
here, Wendy, here's where you would add the pictures. You would click on choose file, and that would take you to your directory or there. Yeah, we'll take you there. See,
Oh,
and you
okay.
click on a picture. We'll put a picture of Adam in there.
all right. That's Abilene.
Abilene, well, close enough. Yeah, you
Right,
either want to double
so
click on that or hit open and
Open, right.
that'll do
Okay.
it. Yeah. There you go. And there's Ebeline's JPEG file has now been associated as the primary image. That's all there is to it.
That's just amazing. See, it's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, we get, yeah, the evaluations are harder, but this part I think is pretty easy peasy.
Yeah, once you do it a few times, and I guess if you a little more savvier than I am with the typing, I think you can really handle this. I know, it's working well for me. So a little slower than most, but yeah, it's comforting to know that I can do this.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, Wendy, you just have to save a picture. You take a picture and get it somewhere into some sort of a file on your laptop.
Okay,
Yeah, if you take a picture with your phone, you can then send it to yourself in email, right? Send it to
Right.
yourself in email and then just save it. Save it in some file.
so on my phone, I can send something to emails?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
If you click on it and say you want to share it, one of the options is email, and so you can email it to yourself.
And then where will it be?
It'll be in your email inbox. So you open up your email and
Right.
then you download it to someplace on your computer where you want to save photos and stuff. That's how I do it. There's probably a better way that you young people will know.
Yes.
So that would be just a regular file that you set up that would be pictures, farm pictures or goat pictures. That's
Mhm.
what we did. And that's where we have all the photos of all our goats from our farm.
So
And I was just learning the other night how to locate those and how to download those. So that was pretty good. It's the same thing. You email it to yourself and then you pick that photo out and download it to a file.
Can
It
I
sounds
bother you?
complicated, but it's not.
Can I bother you, David, if I need help?
You sure can.
Okay. Thank you.
As long as you got a couple hours, Okay. So what do we-
Alrighty, now we've got demo Adam up there. Now we have, David has in his hands and I have in my hands, a bogus scorecard from a Cashmere Ghost show, a
That's right.
make-believe Cashmere Ghost show called Demo CGA Cashmere Ghost Show. So we are going to add this evaluation, this information. I'll kind of read what I'm seeing on the scorecard while David's entering it, so we can all get used to the whole thing of how you get from the scorecard to the evaluation, because there's a few little things you have to be aware of. So David, you want to add an
An
evaluation?
evaluation for registry
For
candidate?
registry candidates, that's the one.
Yes. There we go. There we are.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay. And the first thing you got to do is choose the event, be it a show or a competition.
All
Or
right.
as you can see, the new demo event is right there. As you can see, you could also choose, if you've got Wendy judging your fleeces, there's a thing in there called individual fleece judging with Wendy's name on it. So if you've got a scorecard that you got just because Wendy on her own judged your fleece, you can use that. And if other people start doing that, we'll just add records for them. And you got to add, yeah, demo Adam, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay.
There
And
you go.
then submit.
There you go. And it found him, and that's protected now, and the event is protected, and the event
See
date is
that.
protected. That's all associated with the event. I add the events. So if you have something for a show or that's not showing up in that drop down of events, just let me know. We figured it wouldn't happen that often, so that's something that I just do manually in the background. Okay, total down weight you'll see is protected. That's
see that.
because the system is going to calculate that for you. We're going to enter the total fleece weight and the
That's
yield down
right.
below. And this will then automatically become populated. Okay, so now I am looking at the scorecard, and by fiber diameter, it says 14 to 15 microns.
Right,
So
beautiful.
I would mentally average that to 14.5. Either way, it's going to fit into that lovely first category.
There.
And you might have a scorecard from a different show. I mean, some people put in an exact micron. Somebody else might just say, oh, it's super fine. It's fabulous. The lab evaluations go into this. You would choose this function, add evaluation for registry candidate. But when you choose the event, the system knows whether it's a show or a fleece competition or a lab. And the prompts that appear here will vary according to what kind of an event it is. Since this is a show, it's going to have a whole bunch of fleece information and prompts, and then it's going to have confirmation information. If this was a lab test, there wouldn't be any confirmation prompts, obviously. It would just be standard deviation and the kind of stuff you get back from a lab. System is smart enough to know what kind of event each one is. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, now.
Right, so right here it says fiber diameter text. So
Yeah.
do I just type in the 14-15
That's
micron?
what I do. Yeah. Yep. This way, since it's a range there, this way you also have a record of what the exact evaluation said, which in this case was 14 to 15 micron.
But do I type the micron and also the word micron?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There's no rule. This is free form, but
Okay.
this way you have the exact information as well as the category it fit into.
Okay. So it's more or less for your own information, correct?
Yeah, see, we had to create these categories so that you could search by characteristics. That way, yeah, that way the system could search. Okay, now we've got style. Style I got on the form says 2.5. So
That's right. So right here,
right
right?
there. Yep.
And fiber style.
Yeah, and I would put in the 2.5 because that way you know you were at the top end.
Exactly what it was. Right. Okay. All right.
Now the
Fiber
fiber
length.
length in inches, the form here says 1.25 to 1.75. And you can't put a range in it. You got to put in an exact thing. So I would
The
average
exact.
it out.
Okay. All right.
Put in 1.5.
0.25.
Well, that's the low end. You want
All
to
right.
average.
So you want the.
Yeah,
All right. So I want the average between the two.
yeah, which
What
is
would that be?
1.5.
Oh, it is
1.5.
1.5. That's right. I have it off this side here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. And then down below, I would put
Yep.
put the full range in there so that you can see
Right.
that
Okay.
there was some
All right.
variability. And sometimes some judges will write little comments about the length saying, you know, I found some short ones on the neck or something. And in which case you put that in there too, or you could.
Okay.
Okay, and this is always a number. The form here says 2.8.
2.8.
And differentiation is always a number. I've got
We have
2.0.
2.0.
Uh-huh.
Total fleece weight,
Yeah,
total down
Yeah,
weight.
the total.
Yeah.
Yes, now this is one place where the scorecard doesn't go in the same order that this goes. The raw fleece weight is in the upper
6.3.
right-hand corner. It's
Yeah.
6.3 ounces. That's the full weight of the
Correct.
fleece. Well, 6.3. Yep, and I said 55% yield. It's difficult.
So we're doing that in this same section, total fleece weight.
Wait, oh, that's your next prompt. But
right,
this
so
is
next prompt
6.3. Yep, ounces,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. Okay, I
yeah.
see.
There's your yield, and it
Yeah.
defaults to 50, but you can make it whatever.
So we have 55.
Uh-huh. Yep, and you don't have to calculate. It will then fill in the total down weight up above.
Okay.
We can check out before we leave. Okay,
And
since this was a show, we've also got a prompt for cover. I
yeah,
have
coverage is 2.5.
5, yeah, yeah,
There's no range with this.
yep. Yeah, all of the confirmation elements are actually simple because they're all numbers.
Right.
They're always
At
between 0
points
and
of
3.
3.
Yeah. So these are pretty easy to fill in.
2.5.
Pam, there's a question from D about putting lab results in. Is it the same way? How would we, if we get a lab result back, how do we?
We're gonna do a lab test next because it is quite
Okay.
different.
Okay,
Yeah, you
thank you.
choose the same main function, but your prompts are going to be completely different or somewhat different. Yeah. Because lab tests are harder. Mm.
2.7.
Mhm. See, 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And everybody else ends up with a 3 in reproduction.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
We have another question. If
Yeah.
like there wasn't a live show and we just have the numbers on the fleeces, we can still enter them, correct? We don't need
Yes.
the body scores. Okay.
Right, right. If it's from fleece competition, none of these prompts would appear. Because right up front, you choose what the event was. And so you'd say 2021 fleece competition. And so you wouldn't see any of these prompts for confirmation elements. And if it's a show, but the goat in question is a baby, and so he doesn't have a fleece to show off yet, the fleece elements are not required for babies only. But if it's a show and it's not a kid, you got to fill that in. Pretty smart system.
So this part here says, should the evaluation be eligible for viewing? That's a personal preference.
It is indeed. Yeah, if you're doing, if you're being noble and putting an evaluation in that isn't very hot, but it's still going to be valuable to us for research, then you might want to say, no, I don't want this to be seen. Maybe she was great when she was 3 and 4 years old, but now she's 8 and her fiber is not so hot. So maybe you don't want it eligible. You don't want people to be seeing it, but it's going to be in there. We can use it for research. But most people
Okay.
say yes, because they want it to be
Okay.
seen. Okay. Show class, with this year's, yeah, in a goat show, you're always going to know, you know, maybe this, what is this guy? This guy's 2 years old. So this is 2-year-old bucks, or you could, this is a free form thing. It's just informational. So if you say 2-year-old bucks and somebody else says bucks born in 2019, they're both fine. It's just
Okay.
information. It
All
doesn't
right.
have to match anything. And on the
So show
scorecards
class
now, we're going to
size.
try to indicate the size of each class, because that's relevant. If we're going to say this guy won a first place ribbon, we want to know whether there were two fleeces, two goats, or 17 in the class.
It was the only goat in the class.
He was the. It's happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry.
let's just say,
So-
yeah, there were 10 or whatever you
10.
feel like.
Sure.
And I didn't indicate whether this guy won a prize or not, but this is
No.
it. Or if he placed, you know, within the first 3 or 4, we're going to give this guy a first place ribbon.
Nope.
Oh,
Second.
second place. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And show award is where you would put something like grand champion doe or reserve grand champion, something like that. All right. And the next prompt for DocLink is really important. I cannot do a thing with an evaluation unless I have a document attached. So when you get your evaluation back from the lab or from a show, you really have to get it into an electronic form. You got to scan it and get it into a file so that you can choose that file here to attach. Because when I get a prompt saying that I've got something to evaluate, I pull this form up, the thing that he just filled in, and I look at this document to make sure that everything on it matches.
Matches.
And that's critical to the integrity of our database, really. We got to be able to prove that we're not just making up numbers.
Understandable.
Even that's what we're doing tonight.
Right.
So, yeah, if you don't attach something there, then the evaluation goes nowhere.
So what do we do? Do you want to add something, or have you already done this?
I think as long as people know that has to happen, I don't know that we have to do it right this minute.
Okay,
Yeah, or you
So-
can if you got it. Anybody wants to see it. But yeah, you can save that now and it's in. Ta-da.
success, ta-da.
All righty. Now let's do the hard one. This is our lab test.
Okay. Evaluation registry candidate, add evaluation of the pedigree. Add evaluation of the pedigree entry. So where are we at here?
It's the same thing. You're still adding an evaluation for a registry candidate.
Okay,
A give and go can have lots of evaluations, and it's ideal if he does. But this time, when you're choosing the event, you're not going to choose that demo show. You're going to choose one of the laboratories. You know, since we're using Texas A&M, why don't you choose Texas A&M lab? It's listed as an event. It's down near the bottom. Yeah, you got to go down a ways. Keep going, keep going. And there you go, there you go. A little further. There it is.
Texas
A&M.
A&M.
Yep,
There we
yep.
go.
Yep, and it's the same guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. Now here, when you pull up the other one, the event date was filled in because when I add an event, I put in the date. There's only one date, there's only one judge. But obviously for lab tests, you might have one from Texas A&M every year. So you do have to fill in the event date here. You really should anyway.
Okay, so just put anything in there?
Yeah, we'll pretend we did it this year.
Okay.
And you can see the next prompt there is protected, where it says evaluation status ID. This evaluation record has a status of pending review, meaning once we submitted it, it will go into a queue as one that's pending review. And then I would be able to pull it up as the registrar and look at it.
Okay.
That's obviously protected. Once again,
Yeah,
total down weight is
that's right.
protected.
That's right.
Okay.
Fiber diameter, and we got
Now-
15.8.
Yes. Now on your Texas A&M lab report, you're going to have several things that refer to micron. One of them is going to be micron average. That's the
That's
one that
right.
you're going to be looking at for this thing. Okay. Micron average, and then my sample area, we made it 15.8. And the style, when you're looking at your lab report, what you want to look at is the thing that says CRV for curvature, that's expressed in degrees per millimeter. So CRV is equivalent to,
61.5.
yes,
And this is the style, fiber style.
yes. So that should be, when you pull up, when you look at the drop downs for style, one of the sets of criteria are in terms of lab reports. So if you click on that, see how you've got curvature, CRV mentioned there? Okay,
I'm
this
looking.
guy was
Yep, I see that, yes.
61.5. So he
Yep.
fits into
Right
that
above here,
middle range. Yeah, would be equivalent to getting a 2.0
61.5.
score.
Oh, okay.
Yep, all righty. So we set it up so that you can get an evaluation from different places.
Okay,
Now, the length, on the Texas A&M lab report, there's something that says SL in millimeters, that's staple length. And you have to translate it to inches.
Yep.
So 42 millimeters, I did the math, 42 millimeters is,
1.65.
oh, you did it too, very good.
I did, yeah.
2.54 centimeters in an inch, guys, in case you hadn't.
Yeah, you
been-
just go to Google and ask for the conversion, and then plug in the numbers.
That works too, yes.
It does. yeah.
And just as a side note, we do know that Texas A&M fiber length is not reliable at the moment, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay, total fleece weight, you may or may not know this. This is something that you would have to determine if you're filling in something from a lab test. You got to make this judgment call. It's not a make or break thing for registry. It's not considered when I'm certifying it. So it's just your assessment of what the whole fleece weighed. So let's just say it was a 6 ounce fleece. It was a good one,
Already?
really good one. Good. And the percent yield, what we'll just leave it as, sorry, cat attack.
Was 50 or was it, it was 55, right?
No, well, that is the same goat. I suppose it might have been 55, but this too is your assessment, because the lab obviously gets only a tiny sample. They don't have a good sense of the
Oh,
overall.
that's correct. Yeah.
So we left those in there, but obviously they're not make or break things. Standard deviation on my little lab report here, I've got something that says SD in microns. Standard deviation of the micron. And that's going to be a number, something like 3 or 4 or something
It's
fairly.
3.2. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just taking notes here.
Mhm.
Hmm. Please enter a valid value. The 2 nearest valid
Oh,
values are
it doesn't
3
accept
and
it.
4.
It
Oh, how
doesn't
about that?
accept- It doesn't, it only accepts whole numbers. Sorry about that.
Okay, so
I forgot that. Huh. All right. Coefficient of variation. This is a measure of uniformity. And on your lab report, you'll see something that says CV in microns. And what I've got here
Okay.
is 18. That's kind of sort of normal kind of thing I see a lot.
you have 18.
And
Other
that could-
comments? I would just leave that open.
Yep, sure, not
Okay.
required. But
Should
again,
the
you get to
elevation be
choose.
eligible? Sure, absolutely.
Pretty good goat. And again, you would want to take your lab report and
Do a digital
scan it
scan.
in, get it in there, yep. And if you have a lab report back from Texas A&M that's got 12 goats on it, no problem, just, scan the whole thing in. And as I look at it, the names or the IDs are always there, so I can just find the relevant one. Don't worry about trying to separate it out. I just find the one I care about and I can still review it. And you're good.
Excellent.
Should allow you to save. There you go.
Success.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Very
See?
well. Yeah, it's a little rusty at first, but I'm sure after I do a whole bunch of these, I'll be a pro. Just like
Absolutely.
everybody else. Ma'am, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, hey, you're most welcome. Wendy, are you feeling okay? Do you want to play with it at all?
You mean like now?
It's
Yeah.
up to you. Yeah.
I don't know if I could try.
or
I have
anybody
thought
else.
of trying to enter something tonight. I think I can do it tomorrow. I
Okay.
have things in heaps and messes
Okay, okay.
today of pulling
Not a
out
problem.
some pedigrees and stuff like that. So
Okay, very
um,
good.
but if I could call you for help. My only question was in the lab evaluation, they don't do total down weight at all. So I'm
No,
not sure why we have that in there.
that is kind of odd, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't absolutely have to be. You don't have to fill it in. It's not required.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just curious.
we-
'Cause,
yeah, I think initially we figured we wouldn't have length either. So we were gonna put the weight in there, I think, just as another thing that the owner provided. Oh, one thing I've been putting in the owner comments, by the way, whenever I enter something with the Texas A&M, I do
think that's
put a
great.
little note in there that says that the Texas A&M length measurement is currently not known to be reliable because it really isn't.
What are we
Um,
thinking about Texas A&M in terms of that they're trying to figure out why their diameter isn't accurate?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
obviously a huge problem too.
Might want to just put lab results and where did you get it from versus, because we keep referring to Texas A&M without
Mm.
anybody else's input, because we don't have anything else right now. I
We don't
think
have anything else, which
rather send
actually
their
answers the
fleeces
question
to
that,
David or Wendy, and they'll get a great
yeah, there you
evaluation.
go.
For
Yeah,
sure.
And it
question
doesn't
just,
cost any more than Texas A&M.
there you go. A
And
question just popped up. I see.
We're endorsed by CGA, so I think
So
people have
please
got-
do send them. Yes.
Yeah.
since we don't have something in the States that we feel like is totally reliable, either for diameter or length or style. We can still use it because I think it's good enough to get qualified to be registered.
Yeah.
But I do think if people could find some other things, you can send it to New Zealand, but I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. But that's really the question. Somebody just put a question in the chat about whether there's a lab we recommend. Texas is the only one right now in the US that seems to be operational. And we have, as Wendy just said, some serious issues with it, both in terms of length, micron, and style, which kind of pretty significant.
Yeah, that's the goat.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's our requirements, and if we can't trust what's coming through there or aren't comfortable with it, then I don't know exactly what we suggest to people except by sending the fleeces to people that we endorse as judges to take a
Yeah.
look at and send the whole fleece. I'm
I
not
hope
trying, I'm
everybody
not
knows
trying
it.
to plug us. Send them to David.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
please send
anybody in
them.
the-
Yeah, I'm happy to judge them for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's certainly not a burden. It's an honor to do so.
Oh, it's a lot of fun actually doing it.
Yeah, it is.
And then you can create a little, I'll send David what I do. You can create a file for them that they can have a list of all their animals all together, just like they do it.
Texas
I don't know
A&M.
if they do it at Texas. I know they did it at Yokomaco.
Mm, mhm.
Those are just
It is
thoughts.
handy.
Yeah, that's a great thought. Yeah.
Yeah, either David or Wendy, to answer the question that just popped up, either one, they're both accredited judges and for fleece, and they both do a great job. And it's, I think the best way to get things judged right now in between shows and competitions. Because they're just once a year.
Real life judging.
Yeah.
And we look at it, we touch it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they see the whole fleece too, which to me is another really important aspect of it. You know, the labs are looking at a tiny, tiny, tiny sample, whereas the humans are looking at everything you said.
Everything.
Oh, okay, bye, Todd.
Hey,
Thanks for coming.
Tatiana. Bye-bye.
I'm glad you came. What
Thank
other
you.
questions
Bye,
do
you
people
all.
have?
Thanks for all the hard work.
No
You're
problem.
very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being so patient.
Pam, I had a quick question. One was just if you could show how to get the certificate of enrollment or
Oh,
actually
yes.
registration. And also
Yes.
when you do this process, you only need to enter a goat once, or do you ever need to go back if you get new results from another year in a show? Can you go in and put those in, or once it goes
Absolutely.
done, it's done?
No, you can re-enter. Absolutely. We strongly encourage people to do so. You only enter the GOAT once, but you can enter an evaluation from a show this year and then from a competition next year. And it's a great way to find out how the GOAT evolves. So it's great to have additional information from other years.
Okay, so
Okay,
that answers my question about fleece weight too, because that's a nice way to keep track of your fleece weight. And you can log it into this program every year and keep track of what your fleece weights are. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. David, why don't you retrieve a certificate? You've got a couple registered goats now.
Okay.
Want to demonstrate that? Both Gloria and Grace, I recently certified their evaluations. So yeah, that's the thing. If you go under
there.
the farmer's thing, it says retrieve certificate of registration.
There
And
we
you just
go.
put in the name of the goat.
Rachel?
Rachel doesn't have one yet. I haven't certified that. Because we just put in the bogus stuff, but Grace does and Gloria does,
Sure, let's do Grace.
because they were at the competition.
That's right, yeah.
These are real things, guys. And
Hey,
isn't that
look at that.
pretty?
Very nice.
Woo!
Obviously suitable for printing.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's got the identifier and you can see.
so date of birth. Yeah, very nice. Ear tag. Oh, that's
Look at
perfect.
it. I wonder what that's interesting. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
nice. That's very nice.
that is nice. That's
So do
nice
you
to
sign
have.
it, Pam? Do you sign the registration?
No.
I think you oughta. There ought to be a date and a signature on it.
Yeah, nice little line right there with Pam's
Ah.
name on it.
I get to sign them? Wow.
Sure.
Because
Well,
I could make one of those and put whatever I want on it.
well, that's true. You could.
But I can't fake your signature and your name and date.
I'll
This
have
is
to talk
not-
to Jeremy to see how that can happen.
Good point.
Physically, I can sign any old piece of paper that people bring to me, but I don't know how to make it happen on the
Yeah,
computer generated.
electronic. I think you can.
Yeah.
And
There's
he'll
got- yeah,
know how to do that.
he'll know. Okay. Write
There are
that down.
millions of fundraising things I get that have a person signed name that they never saw it.
Mm. Oh, right.
This has been
Okay.
great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Yes,
Are there
thank
any
you
other
so much,
questions?
Pam. Yeah.
I just, one thing, it wasn't sort of clear to me when I was shopping around today.
DocuSign.
Um,
Thank you.
It's-
Thank you,
it
Dee.
had- Sorry?
I was just responding to a D in the chat. She just typed in DocuSign. Okay.
Oh, DocuSign. Okay.
It seemed like it read like goats born on my farm are STC, but if I sell them to Sister Mary Elizabeth, the herd code would be changed to CSM, but that's not right.
Absolutely not. Yeah, your herd,
Okay.
the herd code stays with the goat forever. But
Yeah.
Forever.
on the goat record that we store in the database, there's both the herd code that stays with the goat forever and something we call herd code of current owner. So we know both things. And I would strongly encourage folks, I'm guilty of this too. Nobody goes in and fills in death dates or transfer dates. Transfer dates especially important because for the USDA, we have committed to keeping track of where our goats are. So if I sell a goat to Christine, I really should go in there and indicate that by updating the goat and putting in the herd code of the current owner to be Christine's herd code, not mine. That way, going forward, Christine can update that goat and we have a record of the date that the transfer occurred. We've got
that's
some of them there, but most of us are pretty bad about remembering to do that.
So that's a responsibility of the seller.
Yes. Because
Okay.
if it's your goat, you're the only one who can update her until you put that information in, and then the buyer can update the goat.
Got it. Great.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There
Any
was
other
something my
questions?
wife and I were talking about last night, that when you go to a particular farm that's in their our CGA and it has their farm email,
Mhm.
okay, is that, when you click onto that, should you go right to their website? Is that, that sensitive?
Um,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
My wife called it something. I forget what she said that was. There was a term for that, where it's linked automatically. She was wondering if that
Yeah.
was something that,
I I don't think that's built in. Well, try it.
no.
Try it. List all farms. Best way to find out.
Okay,
You want to go in and list all the farms, then pick a farm that
sure.
has a website. A lot of the farms do not have a website because this was populated from some real
Right.
old
And there's some
information.
that are really bogus that aren't even active.
Yeah, oh, there's a lot of inactive farms here. This contains every herd code that was ever assigned. We got the
Okay.
list from some folks out west, and many records are lacking a website because nobody had a website when they
Right.
signed up in
Okay. I
1992.
understand that. Yep.
So, yeah, you can see that those are not links. Those are just,
Hypersensitive. I think that's what it was.
yeah, there's no hyperlink. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So, okay. So,
It wouldn't be that, well, no, it would be hard to, I'd have to think about it. Yeah, I don't
okay.
know,
Sorry.
but since most of them aren't in there,
Like you do
complicate life
something
here.
else. So that's an answer I can give my wife.
Alrighty.
All
I
right,
don't know.
well, any other questions? I think that's going to conclude our program. I don't want to go on too long. If we don't have any other questions, I'm going to stop recording. And
Okay.
Pam, any other words? Thank you. This has been such a big project.
It has indeed. And thanks to
Wow.
Mary Ann too for keeping it going for a lot
Yeah,
of
so now we
years.
need to get our goats in.
Yes, yes,
No
please do.
excuses now. Yeah.
Please
Pam,
do.
thank
Add
you
your
so much
goats.
for the time and effort, and thank you
No
so much for
problem.
being so patient.
Oh.
I feel more confident, that I can do this. So that's great.
Good.
Don't need my wife to do it now.
Very good.
Well, the good
Yeah,
news
thank
for you, Pam, is that now we'll bother David as well.
There you go.
That's okay. I'll answer any
All right.
questions I possibly can.
Okay.
It's just
Thank
a
you.
learning
Right.
curve, that's all. But thank you so much.
You just have to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
righty.
feel less computer illiterate now.
Good. All right.
Absolutely, right on. You go. All right, well, thank you.